Hi guys, welcome to this session on Microsoft Project. In this module I want to show you how you can create or show a critical path in a project plan. I'll show you a couple of different ways of doing it. So first of all, I've got a simple project task list, 3 tasks, and they're all showing blue, and it's not showing me whether that is a critical path or not. So if I go to the Format tab, Gantt chart Format tab, I've got an option there that says critical tasks, and then it shows them in red as critical. And if I do a task D, and let's say that's just 1 day, that is sitting as a non-critical task because it's not affecting the end date of the project. If I move that task forward, move without adding a link, I'll let them link, it becomes part of the critical path. Now you can also create or force a critical path. At the moment the default setting is it is critical if there is no time between the tasks. There's no time, it's not including the weekends, non-working time, there's no time between these tasks. If I push that forward, you can see that it's still critical. Get rid of that, don't know why that happened. If I push it into next week, now it's not critical because there's a huge gap there. Now the default, like I said, is 0 days, but I've changed that default in option to be 1 day. So if there's a 1 day gap or a 2 day gap, I'm not quite sure what I'll put it to, I think it's a 1 day gap, it still shows it as critical. So if I go and show you that, if I go File, Options, and then Advanced, and then straight down to the bottom of this, yeah, I've set that as tasks are critical if slack is less or equal to 2 days. So it still shows it. So that's normally on 0. If I put that to 0, now it doesn't show it as critical. Only this last task is affecting the end date of the project, so that is critical because there is a gap there. Bring it back a little bit, then the whole thing goes critical. So you can change it in options. You can also change options to show, if I go back in there, Advanced, down to the bottom, you can have it calculate multiple critical paths if you tick this. So each independent network of tasks within the project can be selected and show critical. I'm going to leave that as it is, I'm not ticking that. The other way you can set a critical path, or it automatically does it, to be honest, it's nothing to do with what you do, is by adding lag time. So if I copy these, all 4 of these actually, copy all 4 of these, copy and just paste them below, so we've got another set of tasks. And if I change the link on this, if I double click onto that and go into predecessors and put a 5-day lag on that, remember a positive number is a lag, a negative number is a lead. Just click away from that. OK. Still shows a critical path because with the lag time it sees it as a continuation of a process. So it could be like drying time for a task or something like that. So if you want to give yourself a bit of extra slack in a system, which is what all project managers want really, you can sort of show these lag times on tasks and it gives you the critical path, but obviously you've factored that in as contingency maybe. Now the top one hasn't gone red anymore because this one is now affecting the end date of the project. So if I want that one to go red as well, because that's a separate series of tasks, what I would have to do is go into options, down to the bottom there, back down to advanced, and then tick calculate multiple critical paths, click OK, and then it shows it red as well because there's no slack in that particular set of tasks either. So you can see how you can show a critical path in red. It's all to do with that tick being on or off. Now you can get this side to go red if you want, but then you have to use this feature, text styles, and basically what you've got at the top there is critical tasks as an option. And then if you want to, I think it's a bit over the top, but you could set the background of these tasks to show red if they're critical, which they do. It stands out a little bit more, too much more for me, but there you go. You can set it like that if you like. So I'll just do undo on that because that's a bit dazzling. If I go back to tasks, the other place you can do it is on filters. So if I go to the view tab and then highlight filters, or not filters, it's filter area, and then you've got critical there, and it just colours them yellow. So you can have yellow and then red, bit of a mix match really, no highlight. So if I was going to colour this side, then I probably would go for the format Gantt chart, this styles, and make it red. It stands out a bit more than the actual highlighting does, and the yellow doesn't mean anything. I mean, you can also highlight these manually and colour these in from the front there, look, but that's a manual process there, and it's slightly false. You want to be doing it so automatically colours red rather than you having to do it. So hopefully that was okay for you. That's just a quick look at how you show a critical path and the different ways that you can do it. So the default setting is if the critical path will be shown if it affects the end date and there is no gaps between these tasks, 0 duration. As soon as you push one of these out, it will go blue because it's no longer, this part of it's no longer critical. That's the only bit that is affecting the end, and that is only doing that because I've got multiple critical paths ticked in options. This one I've added a lag of 5 days, and that still shows the whole thing as critical. And then I looked at the format options for this side to make this critical or show it as critical, and then on the view tab using the highlight option to show the critical tasks in yellow. So hopefully it was of use to you. Thank you for your time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.